Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another video of Football with Moj. The London Derby has just concluded, and it is the host, Arsenal, that takes the 3 points and the bragging rights. It is Arsenal 2, Chelsea 1. What an underwhelming game of football we have just watched. And I must say that I'm judgmental, but if you look closely to it, you will realize that every game that comes now until end of the season is like a final for Arsenal. And there's no room to give your opponent any chance of playing good football and creating chances whatsoever. What matters from Arsenal's perspective is managing games, managing these players, that are from the opponent that you're facing. And that's exactly what Arsenal have done. And you can see with the less chances that were created inside the field of play, all the goals came from set pieces, which is from corners. The first corner came from a header, that came from Gabriel, that passed it to Saliba, and Saliba heads it home. But of course, it finds on its way to the net. It finds Sarr, still goes inside, and the second one, of course, is from Jurrien Timber. And Chelsea also scored from an own goal from Nketiah, an Arsenal player. So I think it is fair to say that Arsenal scored all the 3 goals from set pieces. And from this point onwards, I think Arsenal have just earned, the title to be called Set Piece FC. That's them, and but I must say that it's good, because what matters at the end of the day, I don't think they will be worried about how they won the game. I don't think they will lose sleep over it. I don't think that's something that Mikel Arteta would do. What matters is the 3 points. Lest we forget, this is a team that has been second for 4 seasons in a row. And right now, they're looking to rectify that. They're looking to avoid that as much possible as they can. So I don't think it would really matter how they win this. As long as they get 3 points, after 3 points, after 3 points, and come in end of season, they win the league, then they wouldn't care for anything. And, they're fighting for a quadruple. They are involved in all the domestic leagues that they're in, and the UEFA Champions League as well. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who says what. What matters is your trophy cabinet, having trophies inside. But I think they're doing well. Arsenal, I think they're doing well. But I remember before this game against Spurs and today's game against Chelsea, I was looking at it from the draw that they had gotten against Wolves. I didn't see it. I did not see them taking all the 6 points. It was always possible, but you were just looking at the draw that they got against Wolves, a game which they were winning comfortably 2-0, and for whatever reason it ended 2-2. And you're looking at that and you're thinking, you know what, they should be shitting themselves at this point in time. They are losing it. And coming against the Spurs side, which has a new manager, that might cause problems for Arsenal, but they managed that game very well. And today, obviously, they're at home against a Chelsea side which they've beaten twice under Rafinha. You're thinking that time, definitely Rafinha might have something up his sleeve. Well, he did. He managed the game, and it was so difficult that the only opening in this game, was just set pieces, and he chose just how difficult it was. But I must also commend the fact that, Arsenal have worked on set pieces so much that when games are difficult to win, a set piece is an opportunity for them. A set piece is an opportunity for them. And you see how wisely they've used them today, and they get the 3 points, And this is good to them. The coming games, of course, will be games that they'll be looking to get points from. They'll be playing against Brighton as well, a team that has managed a couple of wins now. So a loss really wouldn't really put their manager under scrutiny, because of course there were rumors that he might be the next one to be sacked because of the terrible run that Brighton had. But with the last 2 wins that he's had, him losing to Arsenal might not really be that much of a problem, which, of course, I'm not saying that Arsenal will win, but if they were to win, then he will be okay. And Manchester City, of course, will be playing as well. They might win theirs, because what history has told us is that with the last 12 games of the season, Manchester City have managed to accrue so much points than Arsenal. So Arsenal will definitely lose, games somewhere. And we saw obviously Pep mentioning the same thing about his Manchester City side. He didn't say anything about Arsenal, but he said, of course, with the games that we have, I do see us losing. About Arsenal, I can't really say much about that, but I know that we will lose games. But we need to make sure that we just don't give it to anyone on a silver platter. So it's gonna be entertaining. It's gonna be entertaining because the sooner we get to the ending, the more prone mistakes we'll see. And right now, Mikel Arteta is managing these boys well because there was so much external noise. There was so much anticipation from us neutral fans and those that really do not like this Arsenal side. We wanted to see them lose, but he's managed them well. Even when they play inside the field, apart from anything else, these guys are just quality. These guys are just quality, because sometimes you are trying to find that error in them, you're trying to find that thing in them, but you just can't find it. And somehow they always manage to find a way to, score. Of course, today, their striker, Gyökeres, didn't score, but he did really well. You see with the Jurriën Timber goal, how they held him, how they held them tight. He couldn't move much, but Jurriën Timber was open. And he managed to score that. And you look at that and you're like, okay, so these things, they work in favor of the team. You don't necessarily need to be the one that scores, but as long as you cause some disturbances, that puts your teammates in position to take advantage of, whatever an opening there is, and so be it. And that's exactly what happened. And Arsenal have won. So kudos to Arsenal for managing that win. Kudos to Arsenal for managing that win. These two games, Spurs and Arsenal and Chelsea were always going to be difficult because of the prestige that they hold. It is a London derby. Anything can happen in these games, but Arsenal have managed to, finish those games unscathed. Now it's on to the next game. And Arsenal, of course, they know how to play against the Brightons of these world. They know how to play against the Fulhams of these world. All these clubs, all these mid-table clubs, Arsenal know how to play against them. So they need to make sure that they keep it going. They need to make sure that they keep it going. Like I said, every game that comes now going forward is a final for Arsenal. There's no room for error anymore. There's no room for error anymore. They've made all the errors they could, with the Wolves of this world. They've made all the errors they could. Now, there's no room for error anymore. They have to collect points, because there's no way they can be fifth for 5 seasons in a row. It doesn't make any sense. Like I was saying as well, even if, a stroke of bad luck came and Arsenal were second again come end of the season, I don't think it's fair, to sack Mikel Arteta. Because let's be honest, the only problem, that there is here is Pep. Without Pep, Mikel Arteta would take all the trophies there is. You look at a team like Liverpool have a problem, that's my club, I know, but they don't have this thing of back-to-back wins. They don't have this thing of back-to-back wins. So if Pep leaves and Arteta remains, he will definitely win. He might not win 5, trophies in a row, but he will do it frequently. He's got the squad. They're all still very young. They're all quality. He's definitely going to get so much from that squad. So if Pep was to leave, then Arteta can definitely do it for them. But it would be unfortunate as well, because you're looking at it from a perspective of when there were best managers here, you couldn't do it, You couldn't do it when there were best managers here. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. What matters is the trophy cabinet. And that's something that Arsenal needs to, to get. Currently, they are, they're obsessed. They are desperate for it. They haven't had it in a while now. And therefore, a club of a caliber of Arsenal, they need to be winning the league. They need to be fighting for the Champions League. You know what I mean? So thank you guys for watching until that's far. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you are an Arsenal fan, please leave a comment on the comment section. What did you make of the game? And do you think you guys have what it takes to go all the way? Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.